Hello, my name is Sean Ennis from Ennis Management, and thank you for joining me here on the Creative Collective. And today I'm honored to be joined by a very special guest. He's a recording artist, music producer, radio DJ, music label owner, Tshirt print and press company owner from Mansfield, Louisiana, DJ Del.G.
Sean, how's it going, man? What's going on, guys?
Thank you so much for joining me. So, tell me a little bit about Louisiana for people who have never traveled there.
Oh man, Louisiana, for the most part, right now it's hot, bro. I'm not gonna lie, but it's a lot of great things that goes on in Louisiana. You got Mardi Gras and New Orleans. A lot goes on down that way, and it'd be crazy busy down that way. A lot of people. You got good Southern soul food down this way, and also you can find some great music down this way. This is a home to many that's in the mainstream. Lil Boosie, Webby, Master P, and the list goes on.
And you touched on it a little bit, but can you talk about a little bit more about the Louisiana music scene?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can start out like with some of the OGs like Master P. I was a young homie around that time, man. My older brother, he was more hip to the music that was out at the time, and he was the guy that actually put me on to music. Different styles, different people, different artists. And but it was something about music from our own home state. It was just something in it, something about it that grabbed my attention real quick, man. Some of the things that these guys were telling in the song during their verses and the hooks and stuff like that. There was a lot of stuff that we can relate to, and it's just something about the down south music, man.
And what kind of music is your favorite to listen to?
Well, I like positive music, something that has a story, good story to it. But I'm open to all music types, but something that's real, that's stuff that I gravitate to more. But I like it all, though.
Can you think of one of your earliest memories involving music?
Man, it was actually me when I first started to record music. That first time, I can remember it, man. We were in the back room, my older brother's back room. He transformed his room into a studio, and the closet was the where he had the microphone set up, and he had some padding material all over the walls. But that was my first time actually, stepping foot into a studio, any studio, and man, it was awkward, bro. I messed up plenty of times, but he kept telling me, man, you're gonna get it, man. Take your time, focus, man. You got this. And from that day, I guess they kind of began to mold me into who I am and what I do.
And with that first time being such a new and probably uncomfortable experience, what was it about it that made you want to try it again?
Hearing those things come from my brother, that was one thing that made me keep going. And also watching him and watching other artists on MTV, BET, I was like, that's something that I like to do. I like to be in those videos. I like to be on TV. So that also helped along with the drive for music and doing music. So I pretty much say that it came from from those things.
What do you feel are the characteristics of great and groundbreaking music?
Could you repeat that for me, bro?
What do you feel are the characteristics of great or groundbreaking music?
I know one thing I would say, making music that's different from something that's already out in, like on mainstream radio. Being, standing out, I think that'll, be one of the things. Bringing a new sound, new music, different way, that you record your lyrics, different ways that you lay your verse. Play it, I can go on for days. But it's, I think those things mainly.
So you really value and think it's important to have originality as a musician?
Yes, sir, most definitely, man. What would the world be like, if we had a million Little Waynes or Dr. Dre's? Everything would pretty much be, the same. So it's best to be as as real as possible. Be you, be yourself.
What types of satisfaction do you get from creating music?
Oh man, like once a song is recorded, mixed and mastered, man, I be very happy, man. I be anxious to drop and record more, hear more. Like artists in the game, like when I hear some of their singles on the radio, I be waiting on the next thing and like, what's next? So that, I can say that much.
And what is the most appealing thing about pursuing a music career?
Oh man, it's about having fun doing this, man. Meeting people who's also, on the same path and have some of the same dreams and goals, as me. So, that would be something. And also, traveling and seeing different places and, different cultures, different backgrounds and stuff like that, bro.
And you touched on your goals. What are your music career goals?
Well, I got a few of them accomplished. We got our, our business name, household name. We got our own independent recording studio. Some of my goals now are that I'm looking to reach is mainly getting my brand, my name out there more. I like to have, one of my buildings in each state in the United States, have like MHMB radio substation in every other city or something like that in different states. I think that'll be something that I want to do. And also bringing in more artists and more producers under the label. That's some of my goals. Not just for this year, but in the future as well.
What music or artists have had an influence on you?
I would say, well, do you mean like somebody in the game or somebody under my label?
Let's start with mainstream artists.
I would say Cassidy, the hustler. Man, it's something about his music, the stories that he tells, I like it. It affected me, in a positive manner.
And what about Cassidy had an effect on you?
I just like, what he brings to the table is all real. It's nothing made up. It's all authentic. And, a lot of the stuff that he talks about, I can definitely, relate to.
And is there an artist that you've worked with from your label who's had an impact on you?
Yes, sir. It's two of them actually. My bro Corey, he passed in 2011. But a lot of the music he makes, had a positive impact on me as well. And Little J Ro, he's another up and coming artist. We just recently added to the label, and the material and the music that he brings, I like it as well.
Do you think it's important to study older music?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely, bro. It's nothing wrong with going back to the roots, from where everything came from. I mean, you don't exactly have to copy older music, but you can learn from it. You can make something similar to it or something close to it, but I wouldn't copy it, exactly like how it is or anything. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of older artists that are, they've been in the game that we definitely can learn from, all of us. Because I've learned from plenty of them.
What are some of the joys and challenges of songwriting?
Some of the joys is finding that one beat out of many that you listen to, and finding the hook to that beat, and right after that, the lyrics, the verses, they're gonna come automatically. But some of the challenging things, I would say, is getting people to hear what you're about to put out, like the new music, the new sounds, getting people attached to it, So that's one thing, one of those things.
Now, you're someone that's heavily involved in different aspects of the music industry as well as an entrepreneur. How were you able to balance doing so many different projects?
Man, it was hard, bro. What I mainly do, I try to map and schedule everything out. I get my calendars on my phone, actual calendar, and I, post date certain things, certain events, and stuff like that. And I try to set myself on on a time frame as well, because I also got, a young family that I tend to, while I'm trying to balance the radio and the recording studio and the other business, that we got going. So, man, it can get real challenging, but, I manage somehow. I manage.
What made you want to become an artist?
Actually watching my older brother, when him and he had a group of his own. It was 4 of them, and I never could figure out what they're what they were doing in the room, because I heard a lot of yelling, and after a while the music would play, and then I kind of caught on to it, like, oh, okay, they're making music. And one day he let me come back, and I sat and watched, and I observed, and from there I was like, man, this is something that I want to try. I want to.
How would you describe your music?
I like to, like I mentioned, like Cassidy, I like to make music that people can relate to, that's real, authentic, something with like storytelling, and I can, switch it up and do club. I've done trap music, R&B, rapped on a couple R&B songs and stuff like that. I'm pretty well round when it, in the music, man. I can make it work.
What are the main themes or topics of most of your songs?
Let's see. It's all about motivating the next person, to get off your butt and go do something positive. Life is not all about selling drugs, taking pictures with guns and stuff like that. I try to spread the message, to get kids away from that. Like the guys that are already old enough, try to get those guys away from stuff like that. And, I'm letting them know that there's something else that you can do besides just that. What you see on TV or what's being perpetuated through movies and certain music and stuff like that. So, I try to go the other way with things, the right way.
Now, I think that's really important what you just said. Can you talk a little bit more about that and expand a little bit more on that? Why it's important for you to promote a positive message with your music?
Yes, sir. If you take, for example, like a lot of the music that's being promoted on mainstream radio, almost every song that you hear, it's about shooting, killing, selling drugs, pimping, and so on. It's all pretty much repetitious, and and I think that within itself, the kids listening to it, and they also act on what they hear, and a lot of them don't get taught the real life lesson, what goes on after you get caught with guns, drugs, and stuff like that. The guys that produce that type of music, they never tell those guys that side of what they're perpetuating. So I think it's somebody needs to do it, and I took off on my own to do so. Changing the story around, like, no, it's something better than doing just doing that, and messing up your life. Regardless if you're young or you're old. Hey, nobody wants to get caught up, but they hear the stuff that they hear on the radio and try to imitate it. So I think it's very important that somebody shows the other side the right way.
What inspires you to make music?
Just living life, bro. And seeing a lot of things that goes on in the world. There's plenty of things, to talk about, and plenty of things that you can prevent people from doing, and stuff like that. And especially like with the music that I produce myself. But music is life, man. You can't go nowhere in the world without hearing some type of music. And music has a message, no matter what genre, but there's a message in music, and people often act off the message that they hear. So that's pretty much that, bro.
Can you talk about a song you've made that you're really proud of?
Yes, sir. It was a song called Meal Ticket that I produced and recorded. It was years ago, but it was mainly about me. And at the time I had a young family. My daughter, she was just born around the time, and I pretty much stated in the song that Daddy's out here working hard to make sure that you get everything that you need. I'm gonna take care of you, stuff like that. And I was pretty much putting out a positive message also to other brothers out there, that may be experiencing the same thing. I was telling them pretty much, keep it clean with what you do, and just do the right things, make the right choices, because you got a young set of eyes watching you, and also, other people, ears and stuff like that listening. Yes, sir.
Now, talk to me about how you got your start producing.
Well, it was one day after school. I was in high school around the time, and I was with my buddy, and he was like, "Man, I got this great program on my laptop, and I want to show it to you. It's a music producing program, FL Studio." And so I went over there, and he showed me a few things, and he's like, "Huh, man, sit down, try it." And from there, I started making beats. Everybody has a start. You don't be so good at the time, but over the years, over the time being spent, the work being put in, blood, sweat, tears, you can, become a little bit better than like when you first started out. So yeah, man, that experience, man, it was a real good experience. Challenging though, but I found my way.
And do you still use FL Studios to do your production work?
Yes, sir, I still do to this day, and I also work with they have a program called Magic Studio. I work with Pro Tools, GarageBand, and Sonar. I work with those programs, and I know there's a few more out there that I still need to get and work those too, and learn those too. So I'm that's one of my goals. I also want to learn how to produce in all those programs that are out there. That way I can be versatile, no matter where I go in the world, and what studio that somebody may have set up, and what programs they may have set up on the laptop and stuff like that. I'll be able, to work it. I have the knowledge to work it. So yeah, that's that, bro.
What genres of music do you produce work for?
Hip hop. I produce R&B. I got a lot of requests for trap beats, so that's that. I've done a few pop beats. Somebody actually wanted me to produce a country beat, but I gotta become a little bit more experienced, with that. And I think with that, you would like to have like the actual instruments playing, and producing those sounds. So I have to, get some people around me for that. What else? That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
Now, can you tell me the name of your radio station and how that came about?
Yes, sir. The name of the radio station is called MHMB Radio, and that's short for My Hood, My Block Radio. And man, that came about, me and the guys, we were in the studio at the time. We were just sitting around, and one of the guys mentioned, man, it would be great if we had our own radio station. And I was like, you know what? Let me figure some things out. So I took to Google and I researched a few things, and I found a platform that I use called Spreaker. It's a broadcasting program for radio streams and stuff like that. And from there, it took off, man. We came up with a name, and my DJ name, and the guys, their names and stuff like that. And one thing that I put out there, like, let's get this platform based solely for independent music artists and people like within the independent music field. And I've had a few mainstream artists on there, and that's only because we interviewed them. But other than that, it's strictly underground and up-and-coming artists on our radio station.
Now, what made you want to put in all the time, effort, and work into creating a radio station rather than just focus on your own music and your own producing?
Well, I thought about it. It's thousands, millions of other people just like myself that's out for some of the same goals and some of the same things. So I thought to myself, why not do a platform to bridge us all together? And we all come together on one accord, and we can see how this and see where it would take us. And right now, for the June 29th will make 7 years. So for the 6 years in running, man, it's been a great experience, and a lot of good things came about on this platform and through this platform, man. So I see, good things. I saw good things. Whenever we bridged the idea for My Hood, My Block Radio, 6 years ago. So, man, I love it.
Now, can you tell me the name of your music label and tell me how that got started?
Yes, sir. It's called Bad.Off.Brothaz Music Production, B.O.B Records. And that came about, I know we were in the studio one day. It was my older brother, my buddy from high school, and another one of our buddies. And we were just sitting around writing and listening to lyrics, and we was like, we got to come up with a name that'll represent all of us. And you know, we just threw a few names out there, and I can't think of where the term "bad off" came from, but I know down here in Louisiana, some of the recording artists, they use it. They use the term in some of their lyrics, and my guy who passed on, he came up with it. He was like, I know what, let's call ourselves the Bad.Off.Brothaz. But I guess "bad off" was something, I'm not sure what it meant, but he knew what it meant. But he's not here to tell us, but that's where that came about.
Now, who are some of the artists that you've worked with on your label and or that are signed to your music label?
Yes, sir. We got LoveHate. He's one of the artists, and also one of the radio DJs. We got Country Boss. He's one of the artists under the label. Got J. He's one of the artists that's under the label. And my guy that passed on, Corey, they call him CZB, but yeah, he was under the label. And I got a few more that's pending. I'll be reaching out to those guys real soon. And producers, I produce myself. We got a guy called C-Stacks, C-Stack Beats. He's pretty nice. He can produce in all different genres, man. I got a producer. His name is A-Wall. He just recently joined the label, and that's pretty much it for right now.
Now, you own a T-shirt print and press company. Can you tell me how you got started in that?
Yes, sir. My wife and I, we were actually at Hobby Lobby at the time, and we was looking for a few things for the house. And she saw one of the machines, the vinyl cutting machine and the press machine. She was like, we should get this. I can come up with a few ideas, and this would be something we can make shirts for the company, and we also can take other people orders and stuff like that. So that was like a year and a half ago, and from there on out, man, we practiced and we practiced and we figured both machines out, and from there we took to Facebook and made a page for our company, for the T-shirt company, and started taking orders and moving orders, man. We stay busy with that too.
And if someone would like to come to you to get T-shirts made, how can they contact you?
You can reach out to us on Facebook and Twitter. The name of the T-shirt company, we keep it around the company's name, B.O.B.P. So it's B.O.B.P. Custom Designs and Prints. And that's on Facebook and Twitter.
And if there are musicians listening who would like to submit music to be played on your radio station, how can they do that?
Yes, sir. They can go to mhmbradio.com, and they can either look for the submissions tab or the contact us tab, and that'll have detailed information, our email, and submission info where they can reach out to us and also submit their music.
What are your music career goals?
Well, some of them, I've already reached. That was starting my own label, starting our own independent radio station. But some of my goals today, I'm looking to add more artists to the label. I'm always looking for more music to play, on the radio station. I want to expand the brand name in each state and different cities and stuff like that. I plan to have a B.O.B recording studio in every city, and well, not every city, but every state in different cities, and also MHMB radio station in every state in different cities.
Now, can you tell me one thing that you love and then one thing that you absolutely hate about the music industry?
One thing that I love about the music industry, man, it opens up a variety of avenues, for meeting people, connecting with people, building with people, learning from people, and, and collaborating with people, and the list goes on, man. But I can't think of anything that I hate as of now. But yeah, I don't think I can come up with anything.
That's good. That's good. Now, what advice would you have for an aspiring musician or an aspiring producer or someone who wanted to create their own radio station or music label? What advice would you give that person?
Yes, sir. One of those things would be once you start and once you find your brand, your radio station, your label name, make sure you never give up. Also, surround yourself with positive, like-minded people. That's also going to help and want to see you make it, and also vice versa. Just make sure, like, whenever you're making business, make sure that you follow through the right way with everything. That's with signing contracts, signing artists, setting up and booking shows. Just make sure that you always step out on the right foot, and make sure that you have your head on your shoulders the right way. I mean, there's going to come things, and along the way, but never give in, never give up. Always keep pushing.
Can you share your social media links?
Yes, sir. On Facebook, you guys can type in and search DJ Del.G or Gill Batez. That is spelled Gill B as in boy, Batez, Gill Batez. And pretty much the same thing on Twitter, and I'm just on Facebook and Twitter, but the radio stations is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, man. You can search and find the radio station by typing in MHMB radio station, and that'll pull us up. Or you can Google, it'll pull up everything.
Is there anyone you'd like to acknowledge for offering financial or emotional support to you in your music career?
That would be my wife on the support side. She supported me all the way with everything that I do. With the music, the radio station, the Tshirt printing press company. Man, I'm glad I got my side.
Is there anything else you'd like to promote or share?
Well, I do have a summer project. It's a collab mixtape for artists anywhere in the world that may be interested on this project. And you can just submit your music through mhnbradio.com and just reach out to us, man. And I'm looking to network, I'm to build, and I'm looking to grow.
All right, I would like to give a very big thank you to my guests for joining me today here on the Creative Collective. As always, write your comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. And for all of your promotion, marketing, as well as music career consulting needs, email ennisproductions@gmail.com.